Hello, book lovers, and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins, and today I'm chatting to Robert J Emery about The Autopsy of Planet Earth, his debut science fiction novel. And what a debut! This book is winning awards left, right, and centre. Personally, I love a book that fires the imagination, and The Autopsy of Planet Earth certainly does that. This is a story that follows the adventure of an alien who may hold the key to save Earth from its slow death. His return to reverse the path and restore humanity to a way of life that knows peace and harmony. Hi, Robert. Would you like to give Book Talk Radio Club's listeners a more in-depth description of The Autopsy of Planet Earth?
Yes, and thank you for having me on. This is our second outing, and
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Oh, good.
The answer to your question is autopsy hypothesizes what first contact between humans and superintelligent aliens might be. We're conditioned by movies and TV to assume they would be monsters, out to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
But what if they're not? What if they came to help us? The twist in my story is, okay, they're here to help, but what cost to humans? What price might we have to pay for their help? And the book is very much a character study of our hero, Gabriel Farrow, and there's a love story thrown in along the way.
The alien with the message that comes to Earth is called Legna, which of course is angel spelled backwards. Was this intentional, and if so, why?
Yes, very much so. The alien's name spelled backwards is in fact angel. The alien's planet is Isa, which is peace.
Absolutely.
Spelled backwards.
I saw that straight away.
It's just a little fun I had with the names, but readers catch it. I haven't fooled anyone.
So Gabriel Farrow, the book's main character, is chief of staff in the West Wing to President Conrad. Was there a particular reason for deciding to have him in government rather than just an ordinary Joe off the street?
Yes, without giving too much away, there is a conspiracy between the CIA and the NSA to keep the alien under their direct control and to keep the aliens present a secret from the U.S. president and the rest of the world. To make Gabriel the protagonist, the president's chief of staff really ramps up the intrigue and gave me lots to work with on the conspiracy side.
I bet. I mean, your description of Farrow's first meeting with the alien Legna, to me, was perfection. I'm going to read this out. His skin felt ice cold. His heart kicked hard at his chest. Ever so slowly, the future of the human race inched towards him. At that moment, he wanted to backtrack. He felt a deep fear, the kind that sticks to the back of the throat, bubbling up like hot lava as a primal scream or choking gasp. More cold sweat formed on his brow. Come on, he heard his inner voice screaming. One more step. Move into the light. Get this nightmare over with. I think this is something most of us would feel in the same situation, but a feeling of hope too, perhaps?
Well, place yourself in Gabriel's shoes for a moment. How would you react if you were about to meet an alien from a planet you never heard of? What if at first that alien was in the shadows, moving slowly toward you? And what happens when that alien steps into the light and suddenly you realize the creature doesn't resemble any of the frightening images you had conjured up in your mind? So Gabriel's reaction, I think, mirrors how maybe we might react in real life, especially if we had created all these things in our head and it turns out not to be true.
Absolutely, but it was absolutely brilliant. Gabriel Farrow and Dr. Catherine Blake visit ECAP. Is that how you said it? ECAP?
I've always said ESEP.
Okay, ESEP then. Legna's home world. What an imagination you have, Robert. Could you give us a little idea of what it's like there, just to whet the appetite, as it were?
Well, I've actually visited ESEP several times. Unfortunately, each time it was in my dreams, which can get pretty vivid at times. I thought long and hard about what the aliens' world could be like.
Mm-hmm.
Their society is many thousands of years older than ours. In comparison, we're like the new kids on the block. So I wanted to explore how the aliens might have treated their planet early on in their evolution, if in fact they did to their planet what we are doing to ours, and if so, how did they correct course? That's the part I had to imagine. But if I say more, I'll spoil the story for the readers. So I'll just say that we might have a lot in common with their beginnings and let it go at that.
Unfortunately, Legner's visit and mission to Earth isn't benign, however. Without giving away too much again, of course, what happens?
The aliens promise that his race can show mankind how to achieve peace, harmony, and balance. That's their big thing. Peace, harmony, and balance. Well, it sounds great on the surface, but of course there is no free lunch, as the saying goes, so there's always a price to pay. And in this case, and again, not giving too much away, the aliens want things done their way, which doesn't always align with what humans want. So the question is, to achieve peace, harmony, and balance, what price will humans have to pay?
Absolutely.
Read the book.
The Autopsy of Planet Earth won the 2017 Authors Circle Novel of Excellence Award for Best Science Fiction, as well as the 2018 Reader's Favourite Award for Best Fiction, and now you're a finalist in Book Talk Radio Club's 2018 awards in the science fiction category. This must be really exciting and very encouraging, to say the least.
I think any author will attest, getting awards is a moral booster for sure. It's nice to know that your work is appreciated, but I think more importantly, awards should give potential readers of a particular book the confidence that it was chosen for its quality of story, writing, and overall excellence in its presentation. Absolutely. At least that's what I hope awards say about any book. Yeah. And there'll be many more awards.
So what was the decision behind your debut novel being in the science fiction genre? Why choose science fiction?
I've always been a big fan, or I always was a big fan of the X-Files television series.
All right.
And I've always been fascinated with the prospect of our species eventually making contact with other societies that might be out there. I believe that they're out there. I believe Stephen Hawking knew what he was talking about.
Absolutely.
I also wondered what a first contact might be like. So out of interest, I came up with this what I think is original story. It was first a screenplay, never got produced as a movie, so I turned it into a novel.
Oh, right. I didn't know that. So do you have any particular sci-fi author heroes?
Arthur C. Clarke, right. Robert Heinlein, George Orwell, they come to mind.
And The Autopsy of Planet Earth would make a fabulous film. Which actors would you choose to play as the main characters, Gabriel Ferro and Dr. Kathleen Blake, and why?
Oh, what a leading question. But if it's ever made into a film or a limited TV series, the producers are not going to ask my opinion. But I've always imagined actor Jack Houston as the perfect Gabriel Ferro. I have no one in mind for Kathleen Blake. The actress would have to be able to portray a strong-willed character because that's who Dr. Blake is. Definitely. No one messes with her.
Now you're close to releasing Midnight Black, a thriller. It's a change of genre for you this time around, since, as we know, The Autopsy of Planet Earth is science fiction. Why is that?
Claire, I promised myself I would try different genres for each novel, each new novel. So with Midnight Black, I set out 3 goals for myself. To write a thriller that takes place in the future, to top it off around 350 pages, so it's a quick read, and to write it in first-person stream of consciousness, which I got to tell you has been the hardest thing I've ever tried. I just got the editor's notes back yesterday, so I'm anxious to dig into it.
So, and you write under a pen name. Why a pen name? You write under R.J. Eastwood rather than Robert J Emery.
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't figured that one out myself. It just struck me as a good idea, so I did it. Now I have to live with it. But at the same time, I don't try to hide who I am and always promote under my real name. And I just make the point that I use a pen name.
Right. There wasn't any there wasn't a particular
No,
reason.
no, for me to go back the other way now just confuses me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And mind you, some authors write under different names for different genres, so you could always do that and confuse everything even more.
Well, if Miss Rawlings can do it, so can I.
There you go. What's next for Robert J. Emery, or maybe I should say R.J. Eastwood? Are you working on a new novel?
I am. Next up is a novel called The White Prize on 50 pages. My tongue is slipping here. 50 pages into that one. It's a story about a young man with the most extraordinary singing voice that, once discovered, it propels him to iconic status throughout the world. In his mid-40s, because of his extraordinary fame, some people talk him into running for the President of the United States, and lo and behold, he wins. That's about all I want to give away right now, but I can say Mr. Trump is giving me a lot of food for thought.
I can imagine. Anyone scrolling through Amazon alone will see that a large percentage of authors offer their books in the Kindle format for free, or for free anyway. What's your opinion of offering ebooks for free?
Well, and that's another good question. I don't subscribe to giving books away free other than to reviewers. Every author, no matter what subject they write about, works hard at it. They're entitled to be paid for those efforts.
Couldn't agree more.
I've read some comments from any number of authors, especially first-timers, who report that after giving books away, they never did realize much of a bump in sales. I don't do it and have no plans to.
Yeah.
I do see the advantage of putting your book out there at a lower price when launching it for a short period of time. And I do plan to do that with Midnight Black.
The thing is, I always think that if you give something away for free, it's perceived as cheap or free. There's no value to it. I mean, as you say, authors put a lot of work. I mean, I'm an author too. I put a lot of work into my books. Why on earth should I give it away for nothing?
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I hope a lot of authors who have confidence in their books would kind of shy away from that.
Exactly. And do you participate in Facebook groups?
I do, and I'm always looking for the one where authors exchange ideas, post chapters for feedback, and share marketing strategies. Not all do. Many are for authors to promote their books to other authors. Those sites also serve, or those Facebook pages also serve a purpose. But I gravitate more toward the few I've found that explore the writing process. I'm always looking to learn from other authors.
You were a motion picture and TV writer and director. How different is writing a novel as opposed to writing for film or TV?
I've had 8 of my screenplays made into films, and I've written over 140 hours of TV programming. The difference is like night and day. The average screenplay is 120, 130 pages, and is pretty much a rough roadmap left to the director's interpretation, not the writer's.
Right.
It's the director. But first, of course, you have to have the idea, the written words.
Sure.
Screenplays are mostly about locations, motivation, and lots of dialogue. And beyond that, it's the director who interprets what gets onto the screen. It was a difficult transition for me, and it still is, because I often catch myself writing in shorthand like I would a screenplay. Obviously, I can't do that. And my editor, by the way, just sent me an email and said, don't do that.
Will there be a sequel to the Autopsy of Planet Earth, or have we heard the last of Legner, Gabriel Ferro, and Dr. Catherine Blake?
Well, I'll tell you, the truth of the matter is there could be. I'm playing around with the idea of writing another chapter in Gabriel and Catherine's life, splitting the first book into 2 books and adding a third. It all depends on how long it takes me to finish The White Prize, which I'm in love with. I've got to finish that book.
Well, I'm in love with the Autopsy of Planet Earth, so please immediately write another chapter of it. Lastly, and very important, of course, where can Book Talk Radio Club's listeners purchase the Autopsy of Planet Earth?
Well, I'm happy to say that it's available just about everywhere ebooks and paper books are sold, whether it's here in the United States or abroad. Most of the sales, however, I'll be honest with you, are coming from Amazon. And both wherever Amazon is, they're the leader in sales.
Yes, they are. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Robert. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club when you've published your next book, and I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck with the Book Talk Radio Club Awards next month. And thank you, everyone, for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Okay, now.